Let's begin, I think, with the obvious, the U.S. election and Donald Trump. And I say that because I know you want people to know something about your relationship with Mr. Trump. What is it?
Well, my relation with Mr. Donald Trump has been very old, since more than 25 years. We were partners in the Plaza Hotel when I bought it from him. Now he's clearly out, but we began with Mr. Trump. And obviously also we did buy his boat in 1995. So we did have a lot of indirect contact. And lately, obviously, after he became a president, I did congratulate him because we had a small spat before he was elected. But I think now it's over. And I did send him a message through his daughter, Ivana, through a common friend. And also Tom Barak, who is a common friend, is also mediating between me and I to try to find suitable time so we can meet together.
Your Royal Highness, as a global investor, because that is what you are you more or less confident than you would have been had Hillary Clinton become president?
You know, as a Saudi citizen and as a member of Saudi royal family and as an independent person, I do not like to interfere in U.S. politics at all, frankly speaking. I've had very good relationship with both administrations, whether it's Republican or Democrat, and I'm willing to live with any administration. What's important is the policies. It's the policies.
That's what I'm getting at. Are you more or less confident in the prospects for the U.S. economy, for the global economy, for the returns that you can generate with your investments?
Well, look, to be honest, when Mr. Obama took the reins in 8 years ago, the U.S. economy was not in good shape at all. It was almost in bankrupt situation. And the banking industry was in shambles. So I think Mr. Trump takes the administration right now with the United States being in good shape somehow.
And so if we look at Hillary Clinton as the status quo, a continuation of what we had under Mr. Obama, whom I should point out you've met and who's in a photograph here with you right beside us, and Mr. Trump represents something new, something different. How do you invest accordingly? Do you do anything differently than what you've been doing for the past 8 years under Mr. Obama?
No doubt that this election in the United States was unique, was one of a kind. And Mr. Trump is very independent, although he's a Republican. But he's very much independent, and I don't believe he's an ideology, which I think is a positive for.
You don't believe he's an ideologue?
No, I don't believe he's an ideologue at all, because he's not the mainstream Republican. We've seen, for example, Mr. Boehner and Mr. Ryan, the ex-House Speaker and the existing House Speaker, contradicting him in many areas. But that's very healthy. I think the United States this time wanted a change. No matter who was running against Mr. Trump would have lost, because the United States wants only one thing: change. With all the things that Mr. Trump did in the election, during the campaign, this was a recipe for any candidate to disintegrate and just collapse and disappear. But you've seen how the perseverance of Mr. Trump, one time after the other, because people want only one thing. They cared about nothing but one thing: change. And I think that Mr. Trump represents that. And the proof of the pudding is eating. So we still have to wait until he takes over in January and see the policies.
Based on what you can see and know now, and the fact that you've known each other for more than 20 years, is that a recipe for growth? Is it a recipe for continued gains in financial assets? Look at what's happened to the stock market since he was elected.
Yeah. For sure, if you look at the stock market as being an indicator, it's euphoric, almost euphoric about what's happening. Because in the last 6-7 days, you've seen how the market going up continuously. And it's been good for many of my stocks, like Citigroup, for example. Citigroup shot up more than 12-13% since he took over. But that's all short-term, I think once the dust settles, once President-elect becomes president, and the policies become clearer, sometime between January and June, that's when we have to really begin judging really where we're heading in the United States economy.